So for our Discworld Fun Day quiz, we're going to start with a few practice questions for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Kahoot format. So this is live. We will be able to see how many people are answering it as quickly as they can. The faster you answer, the more points you receive. So we're not only looking for big brains today, we're looking for fast fingers. So our first question, which is no points, so don't stress too much, is a fairly ordinary one. Who wrote the Discworld Book Series? Is it just some British author, or Sir Terry Pratchett, or Tipperary, or Terence David John Pratchett? Because two middle names is really extra special. Awesome. So we all got it correct, which is assumedly we're in the right place. If you thought it was none of these answers, then perhaps you're in the wrong video link. So on our leaderboard, it will come up after every question. Obviously, because this question was worth no points, it's a bit of a practice one. We've got no people on the leaderboard at the moment. This next question is also a practice, just so we can all get in the swing of things. This one's a little bit different. It's a true or false. So only 2 options instead of the 4 options. So once again, the librarian is an orangutan, true or false? Fast fingers, I love this. I love when it goes up really quickly. Is everyone in? Are we having any difficulties answering questions? Or we're all good? Excellent. Oh, all but one. Who? Oh dear. All right, and so while we're going through this, guys, the chat is being monitored by the lovely Kat who did our origami earlier today. So feel free to talk in there, and certainly if you don't have a device to play this Kahoot, chat along in the chat, because I don't think no matter how fast you can type, people who are answering just won't get there fast enough to see your answer and then try and cheat. So feel free to play along that way if you don't feel comfortable with the Kahoot format. Alrighty, and so we will now start the quiz proper. So we're going to have 5 groupings of 10 questions. Our first section is gastronomical encounters on the disc. So do you know your Discworld food? And so each of our sections will have a different theme. So we're going to see how well we go. First question. What drink did Nanny Og write home to her family about in Witches Abroad? Is it special sheep liniment, or scumble, or slippery nipple, which is a fun thing to say, or banana daiquiri? Excellent. So banana daiquiri from Witches Abroad is the correct answer. Scumble and not quite, but I'm really hoping that was just a finger slip. All right, Rascal the Fox in the lead, nice, followed by Danny the Moist. All right, what drink do the vampires crave after they've been weather waxed in Carpe Jugulum? Is it scumble, or coffee, or tea, or blood? And being weather waxed is very vile. Those poor vampires. So of course it's tea, even if it's actually just brown water. Ooh, some movement. So the faster fingers gets you more points. So if you answer fast enough, you will jump down even though you're getting the correct answer. All right, question number 3. What does the vampire Maladicta crave in Monstrous Regiment? Is it scumble, tea, coffee, or blood? Fast fingers. So this is my favorite book, so there had to be a question from it in this quiz. So it's coffee, particularly even coffee beans, because biting an apple just won't do. Oh, some movement. Danny going up, and Joanna, and Ibid, and Meredy, and Lee. Oh, some nice jumps. All right, true or false? Rincewind has a thing for potatoes. It's mentioned throughout the books. And of course it's true, particularly in interesting times when Rincewind's surrounded by scantily clad women seeking to please him and fulfill all his dreams, and Rincewind just thinks they're offering to make him potatoes. Certainly a thing for them. All right, Danny's still in the lead, followed by Joanna. But Alonia, highest climber. Well done. All right, what food was Solid Jackson fishing for when he found Lesht? Sort of a left field kind of question, I thought, but was it soft lobsters, drowning perch, curious squid, or lonely octopus? Just flown by itself down there. Excellent, curious squid, beautiful. So those of you who have recently read your Jingo, you'd know that curious squid is what they were fishing for. Brilliant. Oh, our top 5 are staying fairly constant. Let's keep it moving. All right, what is the major crop grown on the Stowe Plains? Is it rhubarb, carrot, cabbage, or potato? So many choices, so little time. Excellent. Yeah, so it is cabbage. It's mentioned in a lot of books, and of course we know that cabbages blow up around Vimes and his entourage, and sudden they're flying over the carriages at that very specific speed of 13 miles an hour. And of course there's also a stamp that's cabbage themed for the Stowe Plains. Nice, not too much movement on our top 5. All right, there is a city on the disc that shares its name with a Round World confectionery, true or false? And depending on whether you've read this section of the book aloud, you may not know the answer. So it's true. Those of you who have or haven't read Pyramid, Jelly Baby is the name of the main city. Even though it starts with a D, it's Jelly Baby. Just always a fun little joke, I thought, anyway. Ooh, lots of movement. Very nice. Alrighty, what is a Clutchy and Hots with the lot? Is it coffee, pizza, curry, or a loaded sausage in a bun? It sounds very cut my own throat. So it's a pizza. And I've got proof of that. So in Feet of Clay, Vimes orders a Clutchy and Hot patrician from Ron's pizza hovel under the reasoning that no one can poison all the food in the city. You'd think it would be curry, but it's actually pizza. All right, what food is pictured below? A nice slow reveal. We'll test some of your fast fingers and see if you guess it wrong. So is a cut my own throat dibble sausage in a bun? Is it a strawberry wobbler, a rat on a stick with ketchup, or a Vimes BLT? The ketchup didn't give it away. It's a rat on a stick. Though if you guessed at the very beginning, you may have thought it was a strawberry wobbler or a cut my own throat dibble sausage in a bun with that nice bit of ketchup on top. Oh, nice movement. All right, Miss Sally in the lead. Well done, followed by Danielle and Leonard of Quer. All right, this is our last question for this round, and then we'll do a brief tally up. What food could death murder? Is it a pie floater, a curry, a banana daiquiri, or rat on a stick? Nice. Well played, everybody. All right, so it's obviously a curry. First mentioned in Mort, you know, I don't know about you, but I could murder a curry. Though I apologize for butchering Death's voice. All right, so at the end of our first round, Miss Sally in the lead. Nice, well done. Followed by Danielle, Leonard of Quer, Joanna, and then Ali. And we've got a nice streak going for Bob 71. Well done. So end of our first round, how are we feeling, guys? Are we feeling confident? Are we ready to go on? With our second round, our second section, Gilding with the guilds. So keeping to a bit of an Ankh-Morpork theme for this round. Do you know your assassins from your thieves? So first question. Nil mortifi sine lucri is the motto of which Ankh-Morpork guild? Depending on how well you know your Ankh-Morpork in Latin, you may or may not get this one correct. Beautiful, nice. So direct translation, if you all weren't already aware, nil mortifi sine lucri is no killing without payment. So very obviously the Assassin's Guild. Oh, well done, Danielle. Jump to the top. Question number 2. Which guild buildings have been rebuilt the most? Is it the Fool's Guild, the Alchemist's Guild, Seamstress's Guild, or the Assassin's Guild? The Alchemist's Guild, which must seem a bit of an obvious one. It's mentioned many times in the books about how the roof's been blowing off and things like that. And certainly the last one, it was built without a demonstration hall in the hope that it would stop blowing up. It didn't help. All right, most increasing, jumping up to 3rd. Danielle's still in the lead. Keep it up. All right, true or false? Lord Atanari is an alumnus of the Thieves Guild. I don't know how quickly you jumped on there. You may or may not have gotten the question right. He was definitely part of a guild, but was it the Thieves? False. So we hopefully all realize and know that he was a member of the Assassin's Guild, as mentioned in a few flashbacks in a few different books. All right, which guild of Ankh-Morpork is the oldest? So Fool's Guild, the Teacher's Guild, Seamstress's Guild, or the Beggar's Guild? And this one is directly from the books. The answer is in it, if obscurely mentioned. So depending on how well you read your men-at-arms, I quote, according to Lance Corporal Carrot, you'd think it'd be the Seamstress's Guild, but there's been a Beggar's Guild for centuries. So while what the Seamstresses do may have been happening for a long period of time, they weren't always in a guild. So Leonard of Quirk in the lead, well done, followed by Joanna and then Danny. Nice. Some nice movement. All right, our next question. Here we go. Which guild's crest is this? So that's another slow reveal. Nice to see no one jumping in too quickly. That can be your downfall sometimes. So it could be the Thieves Guild, the Beggars Guild, the Teachers Guild, or the Fools Guild. Nice, Thieves Guild. Of course, that cut first is a bit of a dead giveaway. Leonard of Quirk still in the lead, followed by Danny and Danielle. Keeping up there, well played. All right, which guild was first formed in the 5th Elephant? Was it the Smugglers Guild, the Guild of Watchmen, the Rat Catchers Guild, or the Guild of Firefighters? The 5th Elephant being one of the books I reread fairly regularly is the Guild of Watchmen. Now, the Guild of Firefighters are mentioned in the Watch book, and keep that in your mind for later. It's the Guild of Watchmen headed up by Nobby Nobbs in retaliation to the increasingly bizarre behaviour of course, acting Captain Colin, who was really only ever designed to be a sergeant. So Danny jumping to the lead, nice, with Joanna, then Danielle, then Leonard of Quirk, then Sin Victor. Nice top 5 range. All right, which guild pursues the band with Roxin in soul music? Is it the Thespians Guild, Musicians Guild, the Teachers Guild, or the Alchemists Guild? So maybe a bit of a dead giveaway with Band of Rocks and a bit of an easier question, but it is the Musicians Guild. Not sure what the teachers or thespians would have to do with them. So we're staying solid in our top 5, no initial movement, but keep it up, guys. You may yet beat them out. All right, which guild was outlawed by Lord Vetinari? Was it the Guild of Engravers and Printers, the Guild of Mimes, the Guild of Rat Catchers, or the Guild of Firefighters? Oh, 36 answers straight away. You guys are very quick off the bat. But did you all get them quick and correct? Ooh, the Guild of Mimes does not exist, but if it did, I'm sure he would have outlawed it. It is actually the Guild of Firefighters. So one obscure line in one very small part of the book, in Guards, it says the patrician outlawed them the previous year as guild members would threaten arson to get citizens to pay for protection. So while the mimes were banned, they weren't necessarily in a guild. Though firefighters certainly were. All right, true or false? Big Fido is the head of a guild introduced in Men-at-Arms. True or false? So Big Fido being, of course, a dog. So he is, it's true, perfect. He is our chief barker of the dog guild. So Danny in the lead, Danielle jumping up a place, well done. Joanna, then Leonard of Quert, and then Sin Victor. Top 5 still staying pretty constant, not much movement. You can do it though, guys, let's go. All right, which Ankh-Morpork guild's midday bell always rings first? Is it the Alchemist Guild, the Teachers Guild, the Fools Guild, or the Assassins Guild? Oh, last few answers coming in. So it's definitely the Teachers Guild. It rings first in response to the prayers of all of its members for the bell just to go so the kids can hurry up and leave the room. And possibly the prayers of the students as well. All right, our top 5. Danny's on the lead. Well done. Followed by Joanna moving up. Danielle, then Leonard of Quert, then Miss Sally. Well played, guys. All right, so that's the end of our second round. So third round, so we've got 3, 4, and 5, 3 more to go. This one is a bit cruel and unusual geography. We've tried to keep some of the questions not so cruel about unusual geography, but essentially looking at where on the disc. What Stowe Plains town calls itself the Green Heart of the Plains? Is it Big Cabbage, Stolat, Stohellet, or Badass? Sorry, this is a slightly more of a cruel on the unusual geography question. So Big Cabbage is the correct answer, not Stolat, Stohellet, or Badass. Big Cabbage, as mentioned in Making Money, is the Green Heart of the Plains. So a little bit of an obscure reference there. Oh, well done, Danny, staying in the lead. Leonardo Quer and Miss Sally jumping up 2 places. Well done. Demonstrating some excellent knowledge there. Okay, what is the name of the mountain in the center of the disc? So the mountain itself, is it Cori Celesti, the Ram Tops, Mount, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Ulskenrahod, or Ankh-Morpork? So Cori Celesti is the correct answer. That big center tall, 16-kilometer tall mountain, the center of the disc upon which, of course, is done manifested with all of our gods up there. Oh, a little bit of movement. Danny's still in the lead. Leonard of Quer coming up second. Miss Sally third. Danielle, nice, moving up to fourth. And Joanna in fifth. Leonard of Quer, streak of 4 correct answers in a row. Some very cruel, unusual questions. So that's a pretty good start to this section. All right, what is the capital of Forex? And no, I don't mean Australia. Is it Did You Bring a Beer Along, Bugger Up, Escrow, or Quirm? So Bugger Up, as fun as Did You Bring a Beer Along is to say, and it is a city within Forex, but the issue of capital and where certainly other significant things are happening in the book, The Last Continent, Bugger Up is the capital of the city. Oh, some high climbers here. Mim, Ali, Chris jumping up to our leaderboard. Danny's still in the lead and Leonard of Quer still holding up as well, but not very big gaps between some of our top players. So it really is still anyone's game. All right, what city does Two Flower come from? Is it Haral, Quirm, Langnang, or Bez Pelagic? And it's just really fun to say Langnang. I've been saying it all day today. So of our 4 wonderful cities, which are indeed places on the disc, if you do or do not know your geography, Bez Pelagic is where Two Flower is from, and 27 of you do know the correct answer. And perhaps the people in the chat as well, if you're playing along. All right, Danny still in the lead, holding it true. Well played. Leonard of Quer also holding second place. Ooh, Ali jumping up a little bit. Mim, and then Miss Sally jumping back up to our leaderboard. Welcome back. And Jen, 3 in a row. Really good with some very cruel and unusual questions about our geography. All right, what is the name of the land 30 miles from Ankh-Morpork where it never rains? So is it Clatch, Hollywood, Dunmanifeston, or Great Neff? Very dry and barren place. And while the Great Neff is a very dry and barren place, it is not 30 miles from Ankh-Morpork. It's a little bit further away than that. So Hollywood, of course, from Moving Pictures, where it never rains, they can always get excellent filming time. All right, a top 5. Ooh, some movement. Nice. Danny, Leonard, Quer, and Ali still on the top. Chris and Danielle making an appearance. Let's see if we can keep it up. But 3 players lost their answer streak. Some tricky questions here, guys. Did say it was sometimes cruel and unusual. What village was Escarina Smith born in? Was it Two Shirts? Was it Slate? Was it Lanka? Or was it Badass? Escarina Smith, our magical person from Equal Rights. And if you know your geography, which most of you do, it is in Badass. Two Shirts, while a familiar name and mentioned in particularly the Tiffany Aching series, not where Escarina Smith is from. Oh, Danielle in a streak. Here we go. Chris and Ali also now leaderboard. Danny holding true at the top, and Leonard of Court. Very close second. Alrighty, what place on the disc was inspired by this round world location? So a bit of a reveal one. So you guys are very quick to jump off the gate. So certainly if you're paying attention to some of our earlier questions about some confectionery, this might be a little more familiar to you. So is it Ankh-Morpork, Clamados, Jelly Baby, or Clatch? Definitely Jelly Baby. Very, very pyramid themed. Mummies and the whole shebang. Now leaderboard. Oh, no movement. These guys are killing it. Everyone else needs to really pull up your game and answer some quick fingers. All right, which country on the disc sticks out over the rim? Is it Langnang, Langnang, Langnang? Is it Krull or Quirm or Uberwald? Excellent. So it's Krull. Perfect. And those of you who are familiar with some of our sordid tales of Rincewind, we know that Krull is an island kingdom that juts slightly over the rim, and it's also where Rincewind and Two Flower, while running away from something, pushed off the edge of the disc on the potent Voyager. All those adventurers he was running away from. All right, our top leaderboard, Danny, Leonardo Quer still in the lead. Ali third on a streak though, well played. Followed by Chris and Danielle. Still really close in our leaderboard, guys. So a few faster answers, or if these guys get one answer wrong, they are moving down and you could be up here. So still anyone's game. All right, where would you find this swing? Is it Stohellet? Is it Death's Domain? Is it Stolat, or is it in Langer? So a slow reveal. So I think by now it's a little bit obvious what kind of not so logical layout we have here. So it's in Death's Domain. Of course, this being the swing that Death made for Susan. Oh, our top five are very fast in their fingers. So we're still remaining at top five in the same layout. However, Natsuki, come back with 3 in a row. Well done. Still anyone's game, guys. All right, who is the egregious professor of cruel and unusual geography at the Unseen University? So is it Rincewind, the Bursar, Two Flower, or Ridcully? So depending on how well you've read some of your later books, this may be hard or it may be easy. Or it may be very easy. So Rincewind is our professor of cruel and unusual geography. So our egregious professor of cruel and unusual geography. Ridcully is, of course, Arch-Chancellor. Oh, our top five still saying the same. So 3 in a row for Meg. Back in the game. Well done. Our scoreboard's still saying pretty constant. All right, that brings us to our fourth and our last, because apparently I can't count and 4 is 4 and not 5. So it's our fourth and our final round of 10 questions, all about our wizarding woes. So is it wizard or wizard? Alrighty, which wizard waggled his fingers to start the Round World project? From a book that perhaps not everyone has read. It's a bit of a sideline book, not one of our, potentially our main series most people would read through. So it could be the Bursar or the Dean or Pondistibbins or Arch-Chancellor Ridcully. They all answered very quickly, so perhaps you are familiar. So of course it's the Dean who waggled his fingers in the Round World, or in the Gas of Nothing, which then began their Round World product in, of course, the first Science of Discworld book. So Danny's still in the lead, Leonardo Querd, Ali, Chris, Danielle, you guys are holding it solid in our top 5. Don't think anyone else is going to have a chance unless you guys are really, really fast on your fingers in these next few rounds. And 3 in a row, Laura, you're back in the game. Well played. Okay, Hex is the creation of which wizard? Is it Arch-Chancellor Ridcully, the Dean, Pondistibbins, or the Bursar? So our lovely Hex, who features in quite a few of the books and a few of the movies now as well. Even if he does have out of cheese errors. And of course, you have to keep the ants running. So Pondistibbins absolutely created Hex. Pondistibbins being our head of inadvisably applied magic, with Hex located in our high energy magic building at Unseen University. So top 5 still staying constant. These guys are on a streak and a half. And 3 more players have reached your answer streak of 14. Well played, for particularly such egregious and cruel and unusual questions that I've selected for you here tonight. All right, who needs a constant supply of dried frog pills? This is a bit of an easier one, I think. Is it Pondistibbins or Arch-Chancellor Ridcully or the Dean or the Bursar? And I'm sure we all need dried frog pills on occasion. So it's absolutely the Bursa. You guys are all on point. Well played. And our leaderboard's staying the same. You guys are so well. All right, so of course the Bursa, yes, he does need the dried frog pills, but it's not a constant throughout the books, depending on how familiar you are with it. So while the Bursa appears relatively sane in Eric and moving pictures, his sanity very quickly deteriorates, of course, during the events of Reaper Man, resulting in the dried frog pills appearing alongside every reference to the Bursa from that point onwards. It has become rather a hallmark of the wizards themselves. All right, what is the source of the one spell that was lodged in Rincewind's brain? Is it the octagon, the octopus, the octavus, or the octavo? Now, one pesky spell that haunts Rincewind for many a book. Oh, I think we've got a few finger slips. And yes, no, it's not the octavus, it's the octavo. And it's not an octopus. Though I'd love to know how a spell got lodged in an octopus to then get its way to Rincewind. Surely one from Dungeon Dimension somewhere. All right, our top 5 staying the same. Danny, Leonardo, Quer, Ali, Chris, Danielle, holding it solid and true. The cat, Jay, you're making a comeback with 3 in a row for 3 fairly difficult questions. Well played. All right, who is the Arch-Chancellor of Buggerup University? Is it Stibbons, Rincewind, Malik, or Ridcully? Depending on how familiar you are with this, it's Rincewind of Buggerup University. Not, of course, our red-wearing wizard Rincewind. Bill Rincewind, who we do meet in The Last Continent as the Arch-Chancellor of Buggerup University. Stibbons is, of course, Ponder Stibbons. Malik is Alberto Malik, so our lovely assistant to death. And Ridcully has his own university. He does not also need Buggerup University under his belt. So our top 5, staying the same. These guys are on fire. So depending on who's in our 6, 7 positions, you may have a chance of jumping up and claiming some of those top spots. I believe there are some stickers in the running for some of our top high achievers. All right, a quick true or false. Librarian was once a dolphin. True or false? Depending on how well you read some of your books and the details, this can be a bit of a tricky one. So it's actually true. He was once a dolphin, very briefly. So in The Last Continent, because he suffers from a very severe cold, and which causes him for each sneeze to change shape. At one point being a deck chair, another point being a book called The Story of Ook. And of course, also a dolphin. Mind you, an orange furry dolphin, but a dolphin nonetheless. Awesome movement. That is a tricky question. Danny's still holding out the lead. Ali going second. Leonard of Quer third. Mim up from the ashes. Well played. And Chris, some good movement happening. These last few questions might make or break our leaders, guys. And Jen, highest climber, up 3 places. Well done. Alrighty. The hunt for what bird is recreated every 100 years at Unseen University? Oh, is it the Largo Crowhawk, the Megapode, the Cuckoo Clock Building Bird, or the Pointless Albatross? All right, and so those of us who are regular con goers, it's definitely the Megapode. Ho, the Megapode. And anyone who did say ho, the Megapode, I do believe you should get some bonus points. Just mark yourself up there. Certainly tradition whenever we see the Megapode, particularly at conventions like the one in 2 years in Adelaide. All right, Danny on the fire. Answer streak of 19. Well done. Ali coming in second. Leonard of Quer. Mim holding her fourth place. Well played. And Joanna in fifth. All right, keeping with our theme. Which wizard plays the role of the Megapode in Unseen Academicals? Is it Rincewind, Ponder Stibbons, Escarina Smith, or the Bursar? Oh, very fast answers. Everyone's, I think, basically answered. Well played. So we undoubtedly know that it's Rincewind. And if you have recently read Unseen Academicals, you would know that according to Ponder Stibbons, he was undoubtedly the finest Megapode on record, presumably because of his ability to run very fast from the heavy amounts and heavy years of practice. So while Ponder Stibbons is in that scene, he is in charge of the ceremony of the Megapode. He didn't, in fact, run it himself. I think the Burst has a Megapode running around, probably not advisable. Unless maybe he took his dried frog pills away, then it might actually be a good run. All right, Danny in the lead still. Ali holding up second with an answer streak of 20. Excellent. Leonard of Quer in third, Mim in fourth, Jana in fifth. Ooh, keeping some familiar names on our top 5 here. Alrighty. And our last few. Which wizard assisted Tiatame to break into the Tooth Fairy's castle? Was it Ignaeus Cutwell, Drumbillet, Victor Tugglebund, or Sidney? There's some fairly obscure wizards on this list here. But well played. All right, so it is Sidney, who is a student wizard, but a wizard nonetheless. And he does help to assist at Tiatame in breaking into Tooth Fairy's castle. Of course, we know that Drumbillet is the wizard that gives Escarina Smith her staff. Igneous Cutwell is the wizard who Isabella consults with in Mort. And Victor Tugglebund, also known as Victor Maraschino, as his stage name, is in Moving Pictures. Oh, Danielle, back up. Well, welcome back to our top 5. Danny's still in lead. Ali second, Leonard of Quer in third, Mim in fourth, and 7 players have just hit their answer streak of 3. There's some fairly difficult questions, so we're doing pretty well, guys. Alrighty, our last question. Large quantities of books create portals into which space? O space, B space, the ether, or L space? So many letters of the alphabet. There's not enough choices to give you guys. So it is L space for library space, not B for book space. And of course, when you keep large quantities of any books, you can start creating portals into other bookshelves through time. All right, to the very end of our quiz. So thank you all for joining. But first, those of you who did take part in the practice quiz, our leaderboard, Vimes Gal, if you are on here, whoever you may be, congratulations, a round of applause. Stuart coming in second, and Ali coming in third, with our runner-ups being Black Alice and Molokov. And so certainly if you are any of these people, please message through your address and we will see about getting some stickers sent your way for your excellent effort and demonstration of skills. Of course, all of our top ones on this quick quiz did get 14 out of 14 right. Some of those questions were a bit hairy. So very super fun. So that was our quick quiz. But now for this quiz, if we're ready and prepared. So I doubt it'll come as no surprise to anybody, given our consistency of our top 5. In third place, Mim. Oh, nice. Coming up from our 4th place. Second place being Ali. And first place is Danny, with 40 out of our 42 questions correct. And the runner-ups being Danielle and Joanna. Congratulations. And well done to everyone who played. There was certainly some very cruel and egregious and horrendous questions and amongst all those nice ones. All right, so that's the end of our quiz.